Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma asserted in the State Assembly that he will continue to remain partisan and he will not let Assam turn into a land of Miyas. Now, Miya is a derogatory term which is normally used for the Bengali Muslims and especially who are illegal migrants. So that is the kind of reference which Himanta Biswa Sarma made yesterday. Now, he was making a statement during one of the discussions which was sought by the opposition during one of the adjournment motions regarding the law and order situation which has deteriorated after the 14-year-old minor girl was gang raped in Nagaon. And this is the kind of statement which Himanta Biswa Sarma made. And now today what I'm told is that Congress and the entire opposition is planning to file an FIR against Himanta Biswa Sarma. But the story doesn't just stop here. It's not only about Himanta Biswa Sarma. You've seen of late the kind of statements made by Yogi Adiyanath. Then you have a bulldozer model which has been recently reflected by the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav. So we'll try and discuss all of this, that why is BJP becoming more and more brazen when it comes to this Hindu-Muslim narrative? And what is the reason? What are the objectives behind Himanta Biswa Sarma being repeatedly so brazen? And this is not for the first time that he's made a statement like this. Many times previously also, he's said things which could offend the Muslim community. So we'll try and discuss all of this. Joining me now is Professor Prasenjit Biswas from the Northeastern Hill University. So thank you so much for joining. We have Dr. Netra Ranjan Chaudhary, who's the spokesperson of Assam Pradesh Congress. Thank you so much. And we have Samir Purkaista, who's a senior editor with the Federal, and Samir covers the entire Northeast. Thank you so much, Samir, for joining. And let me begin with Dr. Netra Chaudhary, that after this statement which was made by Himanta Biswa Sarma yesterday, is it true what we are hearing that the united opposition is planning to file an FIR and you might also go to the court? What is it? What is the latest situation?
Yeah, thanks, Nilu. First of all, it's a really matter of great concern, and in fact, Assam is in the grips of ethnic state-sponsored ethnic violence with intention for ethnic cleansing. It's we all of us are quite aware. This is really unfortunate and unbecoming for a somebody in a respected position in a safety minister, which is unprecedented not only in India, perhaps in the entire world. The sort of active and divisive policy she is resorting to, the sort of comments he is, delivering. And look, the Himanta Biswa Sarma's politics is well known. This is all about polarization solved from long. But if you see, since the full zones of the elections declaration, these have become much amplified, particularly after losing of EIDUX for Badruddin Azmal in a crushing defeat of over 10 lakhs votes. The Himanta Biswa Sarma seems to lost his all cool and giving sort of comments which is really unbecoming, really uncivilized even to discuss here. This is not only one instance. He is openly threatening the media fraternity. He is asking them their reasons to ask questions. And perhaps you all aware within, I think, 2-3 weeks back only, he seems self-proclaimed to be a mad dog. On camera, he said that I am a mad dog and I will bite you. So this type of comments, this is unheard, unexpected, and it's really embarrassing. Coming to this recent rape situation, this is not an isolated case, I'm telling you. During this BJP rules, there is, I can tell you the exact figure, 18,257 there is registered rape cases. We don't know how many cases are unregistered. So you can understand this, the whole law and order situation. Let's not see it as a one isolated case of rape of a minor. Look what happened on this 15th of August. More than 20 locations of Assam, all for planted bomb. So this itself proves the deteriorating and really alarming law and order situation which was really prevailing in the times of 19. Coming to yesterday's comment, when he openly threatened that he will decide who will go to the upper Assam and who will not. This is really it's really unprecedented. It never happened, and it is really a breach of constitution. That's our clear view.
I just want to interrupt you because I need to inform the viewers about the fact that why did he say that he will continue to remain partisan? Now, he was making a statement and he said that why should people from lower Assam travel to upper Assam? Do you want that? And then he says, I will not let this happen. I will continue to remain partisan, because the opposition interrupted and they said that you are being partisan. To which Himanta said that I will remain partisan. Now, Nitra, one quick question and then I go to Professor Pasanjit. That why do you think that he made a reference to this lower Assam and upper Assam? Why did he make a statement like that? And what is the message he's trying to send out to the Muslim community of Assam?
As I told you, that this is a state-sponsored cleansing being planned. And why Upper Assam? It's a very valid question. If you see the fourth zone declaration and Jorhat constituency, where Deputy Leader Congress in Lok Sabha, Gaurav Gogoi, has a convincing victory in Nagaon dominated area of Upper Assam. And this was a learning and a learning boost for Himanta Biswa Sarma, for whom this was a matter of personal prestige, and everybody know that he was personally campaigning there with his full cabinet just to ensure Gaurav Gogoi's defeat. So this gives a very alarming feeling that if Upper Assam is gone out of BJP, then the result of 2026 is quite evident. So for his continuity in the power, the only option left for him was to have a polarization between Upper Assam and Lower Assam with some sort of incidents. Now, if you allow me 2 seconds, let me tell you that this incident was actually happened by a BJP leader by name Mayur Yadav. He has beaten up some people, and the name was taken by some local uh, indigenous parties of organizations just to create the confusion and give it a news of Upper Assam versus Lower. So this is clear the divisive politics. And this is not only for Himanta Biswa Sarma. If you see even Yogi also saying it, Batoge Katoge sort of comments. So they have nothing to say about development. They have no industry, no cities, nothing to say. The only option for them is to polarize, and the only way they are doing. So this is it. And I'll just say last sentence. As you have asked me, the United Opposition Party, the INCO, is had a urgent meeting yesterday in Guwahati, and we are filing an FIR in Dispur in a couple of hours today. The important thing, is that as per our Constitution Article 191(1)(b), if a person's elected member is found to be mentally unsound, then he should be decided for disqualification from the assembly, and we are going for that.
No, so are you saying that Himanta Biswa Sarma is a mentally unsound person and he should be disqualified? Are you saying that?
We are filing a case under Article 191(b), where if a elected member is found to be mentally unsound, and we have all rights to demand for his disqualifications for the Legislative Assembly. Unfortunately, the governor is not available as of now. He is outside Assam. We will pass on his petition to the Honorable President of India, to the governor, and meanwhile, we are going to file a police case in a couple of hours with all these opposition parties.
These kind of polarizing comments coming from Himanta Biswa Sarma, why do you think is repeatedly becoming so brazen? Do you see this as a deliberate strategy on the part of BJP?
Uh, I don't know about the BJP because BJP prima facie is committed to the Constitution of India, and an elected chief minister has to take an oath of allegiance to the Constitution of India. And an elected chief minister is not supposed to take favor or take a kind of a partisan view in terms of caste, creed, community, religion, etc. But here, what Mr. Biswa Sharma has said is clearly with a certain sense of distraught and dismay. He is trying to bring out a certain sense of something that is not so well in Assam's polity, I would say. And what is not so well in Assam's polity is probably a kind of mismanagement of the diversity that the state of Assam has. It has four distinctive cultural regions. The Upper Assam has this Tai Ahom and other indigenous communities. The Central Assam is a mishmash of all the communities. People have migrated, people like me, migrated from Kannauj, 9th century, and I remain Bengali. Maybe my friend Mr. Chaudhary also came from Kannauj and he became an Ahomia. So you can see this mishmash that has happened in Brahmaputra Valley. Coming to Lower Assam, which was part of Eastern Bengal in 1872, the whole of Barak Valley, the Sylhet district, and also Gwalpara was made a part of Assam. Gwalpara was made a part of Assam in 1837. Sylhet was made a part of Assam in 1872. So this Lower Assam has come from Eastern Bengal historically. So obviously there are Bengali speaking people there. And as you know, Bengalis have all religions, primarily Hindus and Muslims, 50-50 among the Bengalis. Similarly, people who speak Ahomia in Assam, they have a large number of ethnic, tribal, religious grouping. And Shankar Deva and Madhav Deva are the icons of Assam who wanted to bring together all human souls, including the non-human souls, under the greater rubric of humanity and greater rubric of Bhakti movement. And that's the Vaishnavite, Shankarite movement of Assam that has shaped modern Assam in terms of its culture, religion, and everything. Now, Vishnu Rabha, Bhupen Hazarika, Hemanga Biswas, all of them have talked about bringing together the hill, the valley, the marginalized people, and sort of inculcating a sense of diversity.
No,
Now,
but
what Mr. Vishnu Sharma has said has gone against all that. Yeah.
no, but Professor Biswas, here you have a sitting chief minister who is talking about this kind of a polarization. That how can people from lower Assam travel to upper Assam? I will not let that happen. And he's talking in context with the law and order situation. How will the people of Assam, do you think, will take this statement?
Actually, there is a ruling interpretation in terms of what has happened in colonial days. In the colonial days, there was a line system, and people of the origin, Bengali origin, are not supposed to cross that line that was drawn in and around Nagaon, around Darang, and on the other side of the line were tribal belts and blocks. So it's a kind of a memory from the colonial days that Mr. Vishwa Sharma is invoking here. Now, as far as someone coming from Barak Valley to the Upper Assam because of some economic reasons, because of doing some masonry or manufacturing work, actually shows the dynamism of Assam's economy. Assam is deeply impacted by flood and other economic scourge, and the kind of internal migration that's happening from rural areas to the urban areas. The suppliers, the vendors are from rural areas, and they come from minority communities. So therefore, this kind of a statement is totally antithetical to what is happening in Assam's polity or Assam's economy. So electorally speaking, it's not going to give him much benefits as well, because Assam prides its own syncretic culture. The
Right.
classic Ahom gentleman does not dislike a lower Assam Muslim.
Hmm.
And there is a syncretic understanding in terms of Ahomia language,
I
in
get your
terms
point.
of participation in
Yes.
Bihu.
Yes.
Nobody, including Vishwa Sharma, can create a dent in that. So it's a failed attempt to create a dent in that Assam's larger syncretic culture, which
Right.
is
So,
unbreakable, unbreachable, untemperable, I would say. And therefore,
right.
it's a failed attempt to electorally polarize. It's not going to yield any benefit to anyone by doing this kind of an identity politics in Assam. Yeah.
Right. Samir has again got disconnected. But Netra, if I may come to you, why do you think that, what is Himanta Biswa Sarma gaining by these comments like these? Does he have his eye on Jharkhand? Because he's a Jharkhand state in charge of BJP, and Jharkhand is going to be going to the elections in sometimes in November. Then you have elections in Haryana. There are elections in JNK. There are elections in Maharashtra. So do you think that this kind of a statement which he made in Assam, is it going to have some kind of a reverberation in all these poll-bound states as well? Yes, Netra.
So, Nilo, if you see post Lok Sabha election declarations, though Prime Minister Modi ji is showing as a moderate face, he is not so much aggressively attacking, but all his lieutenants are resorting into the hardline Hindutva and doing best for ensuring the social engineering through religious polarizations. In Assam case, the one of his trusted lieutenant, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, who was unnerved and quite unexpectedly for him the loss of Maulana Badruddin Azmal, which was his crucial, Jugalbandi, I would say, for religious polarization environment in Assam. So, and along with that, Nilu, the opposition parties are continuously and relentlessly raising, and I must be thankful to the Assam media also for highlighting all those issues of corruption, particularly his family. I think no sitting CM across political parties has such potential where his family, his or her family are getting involved in so much corruptions. Recently, also there are many corruption cases appeared, and the opposition parties were strongly demanding. To the extent that he said that, "Oh, these are not my property. I will donate this everything to the people of Assam." To this extent, even that he will write a will and all lot of things happen. Along with it, if you pick up any development matrices, Nilu, I'm telling you, be it from health, be it from high school dropout, Assam is always on the lowest five states, whereas Himanta Biswa Sarma promised that Assam will be among the five states. So he is actually running out of agenda as well as any narrative to claim or convince people for continuity of the project into the power. And then the loss in Upper Assam, and then there is a strong undercurrent, and he understands this very well that there is strong anti-incumbency is happening, and there is a strong public unrest. I'm giving you one quick example. Recently, the cost of medical items, lab tests, etc., has been increased in Assam in comparison to AIDS. If I can compare both in some government and AIMS, it is almost 5 to 6 times high. Okay, so this way the price rise is here unprecedented. So people are getting really upset about, and they are looking for some way to get rid of Himanta Biswa Sarma's government. Now, what is the way out? He has to be in the power. So the only resort way for him is to polarize. Now, if he can do something and polarize between Upper Assam and Lower Assam, or as a diversion technique, so that people or the mainstream media, everybody shifted their focus from the corruption against his family to the Miyas, to the Upper Assam, Lower Assam. So that is his strategy basically. So as our respected panelist has already said, this is going to be a failure in Assam because Assam has a long history of coexistence, peaceful
Right, but I interrupted
coexistence.
you, Netra. Netra, I want to go to Samir now because earlier he got
Yep,
disconnected. Samir,
sure.
what Netra has been saying that this looks like a diversionary tactics, that Himanta Biswa Sarma doesn't have any agenda, and that is why he made statements like these so that he can polarize the voters. Also, not only setting his eyes on Assam, but in other states as well, which are going to elections. What do you think is the real agenda behind whatever Sarma is doing? Is he having very lofty ambitions? Does he want to break the record of Yogi Adityanath and now, of course, Mohan Yadav as well? Oh, Samir has got again disconnected. Professor Biswas, if you could answer this question. Yes.
Yes, as far as Jharkhand is concerned, my first job is in IIT Dhanbad, and I started my career from there. So I know Jharkhand very well, as good as my palm. So you see, the tribal people in Jharkhand, they are already very much perturbed with the kind of economic oppression and exploitation that has gone on. They have this concept called diku. So whatever HBS wants to do there, he will be looked upon as a diku. And now that Champai Soren has unfortunately joined him, the reaction that is arising from Jharkhand is a strong counter response from among the tribes of Jharkhand. Even Arjun Munda, the other Baburam Marandi, all of them have revolted literally inside the BJP party of Jharkhand. So therefore, it's a kind of a failed experiment, an experiment of breaking Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, which Mr. Biswa Sharma, as we have heard in various media reports, was trying to engineer. And some people were caught with money in Kolkata as well. And then his name again came.
But
Now,
my
this kind
question
of
is,
engineering
my
is
question,
not going to
Professor
work.
Biswas,
Uh,
Professor Biswas, my question is Himanta Biswa Sarma trying to break the record of Yogi Adityanath? And of course, recently what we saw in Madhya Pradesh, Mohan Yadav's record.
So I was just trying to say about the Jharkhand tribals. who constitute an overwhelmingly 69% of the total voters, are totally looking at these developments of Champai Soren going to BJP as totally unbecoming of a
let's
leader
let's not
like.
digress. Let's not digress from the issue. Let's talk about
Yeah.
Himanta Biswa Sarma's statements impact. Will it have an impact in Jharkhand polls? Or
Absolutely not.
okay,
Absolutely not. And Champai Soren talking about Muslims since yesterday evening sounds like a poor mimicry of Himanta Biswa Sharma. And
okay,
tribal people this morning are telling in Ranchi that how can Champai Soren bring in Himanta Biswa Sharma in Jharkhand? What is Himanta Biswa Sharma's connection in Jharkhand? Now that Bangladesh has gone the other way, even Adani power plant is going to be stopped in Jharkhand. So therefore, Jharkhand doesn't present much of a rosy picture to BJP, and JDU is in line with India bloc, as you know, in Jharkhand. So therefore, no one in Jharkhand, in their conscious brain, will accept this kind of a design of talking Muslim in, and that's not a factor at all in Jharkhand, not a Muslim factor dominated electoral constituency, more than 2 to 3 seats. So therefore, it
right,
has no impact on Jharkhand. And the Muslim migrants who are in Jharkhand, largely they are from Bihar, and they are much integrated in Jharkhand tribal society. So therefore, that also is unbreachable. So therefore, this
right.
kind of an effort of putting the entire social fabric into an X and trying to cut it into pieces, katna hai, batwara karna hai. That kind of a policy that
This
HBS
is
is trying to
what
follow in Jharkhand.
Adiyanath recently said. Ki
Yes.
katenge, batenge, that kind of a remark
Yes.
which he made.
So
Uh,
HBS is trying to use Katenge in Jharkhand, which will not work.
right.
And Mohan Yadav, after losing that by-election in Madhya Pradesh, he also wants to polarize. And then bulldozer in no way it's unconstitutional activity that he has carried out in Madhya Pradesh. So therefore, BJP
But
and its central leadership is in a
I'll come
mess,
to
complete
Netra.
mess. I can
Let
see
me
that.
let me come to Netra. That do you think that post 2024 verdict of 4th June, BJP has become is trying to the BJP leaders, maybe if it's not the Prime Minister, because he's sounding moderate as what you said, and he's not making those kind of remarks, but of course his chief ministers, the way they are using the bulldozers, the kind of statements coming from Himanta Biswa Sarma, are they becoming more and more brazenly communal? And they have no qualms about it, even though the communal card is not working. Yes, Netra.
Well, exactly. Nilu, that's actually only way out for them because in development matrices, if you want to talk to them or debate them, they have absolutely no logic or argument. At best, they can hide the data. So the only option left for them is to try their best to polarize and repolarize. And social engineering is the only way out. But perhaps in this context, I would like to remind all those, Himanta Biswa Sarma and all those CMs, they should not forget their own leader, Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee, when he said, "Ki do the Raj Dharma." Rather than doing the Raj Dharma, they should at least forget about Congress and all. You just listen to what your leader said. Are you doing the Raj Dharma or what you are doing? Also, Nilo, you can fool a certain people for some time, but you cannot fool the entire people for all the time. Now, I think those all strategies and tactics of BJP has expired, and they are getting really frustrated. And because of this frustration, it's being manifested through their this unbecoming and this orbitum they are swaying, which is really uncivilized. I would say from leaders like their status. So this is really alarming, and more importantly, they are resorting to maximum way to instigate the communal violence or communalizations. So that's the only way left out for them. Again, we would like to remind that under Article 191 of the one of the bill would be because of self-proclaimed declaration of Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma that he's a mad dog. We are appealing the Honorable President of India that he should be disqualified from the Legislative Assembly immediately. Otherwise, the state as well as entire population is in a very risky
Netra,
situation
there's
because
another
of this.
question. Forget the demand. Forget the demand that he should be disqualified. But in the first place, do you think that the police will really lodge an FIR against the chief minister? That's also a biggest question at the moment. Will the FIR be lodged against Himanta Biswa Sarma?
Well, we are about to today itself by evening we'll get the update, and the police are also law. They are a law enforcing agency, so they have to register. We have to
Right.
raise it because this is documented thing and this is a threat to the Indian constitution and democracy and the people of Assam and life and safety of the people. At the same time, we are appealing the people to
Right.
to
Okay,
keep
now,
defense and maintain the peace and harmony.
right. Now, let me go to Samir. Now, to come to the entire politics and the behavior of Himanta Biswa Sarma, how do you really read it? And then I'll sum up the program then.
See, there is a bigger context to his recent upping of communal ente in Assam. See, as you know, this identity politics has, invariably proliferates. It leads to assertion of other kind of identity. So in Assam, BJP's this communal identity politics has now created several fault lines, and an ugly manifestation of that we recently witnessed in Upper Assam when Hindi speaking people were attacked by a radical so-called indigenous group called Lachit Sena. The volunteers of Lachit Sena attacked some Marwari businessmen in, allegedly after this Marwari businessmen, they, manhandled some SMS youth. It led to a major flare up, and then this vigilante group had forced this community leaders to publicly apologize in front of SP, DC, and even a senior Assam ministers. So, and which had not gone very well with the RSS BJP's Hindi Hindustan lobby. And if you see in the social media immediately after that incident, when some Marwari community leaders were forced to apologize in a vigilante justice, many people from the BJP RSS group, they severely reacted to it, and Himanta Biswa Sarma got shaken because he's because he was getting pushback from that Hindustan lobby of the BJP. So immediately he wanted to change the narrative and start creating political communal politics, and so there is a bigger context to it, and ironic, and and this is not the first time.
Samir, what I want to understand from you is that what is the kind of milestone which Himanta Biswa Sarma is trying to achieve? Does he want to surpass what Yogi Adityanath is? What, or is he trying to prove to Modi that he can become the messiah of BJP's communal politics? What is he trying to achieve? What is he trying to project? I really want to understand from you because he's repeatedly doing
For
this.
yeah, let me be very clear on it. He cannot become Yogi Adityanath, no matter how much he tries. He doesn't have that kind of RSS leadership is very angry with him. And recently, he after that this targeting of Hindi speaking people, particularly his talks within the RSS BJP had further gone down. And let me also tell you, the Himanta Biswa Sarma is a very good number two, but when he, as a leader, he is a pathetic. And see, ironically, when he was number two during Tarun Gogoi's time, when Tarun Gogoi was chief minister in the Congress regime, or during this Sarvananda Sonowal's tenure in the BJP, his reputation was, well, this man is corrupt, but this man is efficient. But after he took over as a chief minister, he has miserably failed, and this has showed that Himanta Biswa Sarma can only be a follower, cannot be a leader. He doesn't have that kind of vision. He is not visionary leader, and so no matter how much he tries, even within the BJP,
No, but how do the BJP leaders in Assam are reacting to this kind of a communal overture by Himanta? Are they comfortable with it?
no, they are not. If you see, Himanta Biswa Sarma is not only getting flack from the opposition; he is also getting flack from the within the BJP. Many, old guards within the BJP are extremely unhappy with his kind of politics, and they see that Himanta Biswa Sarma is basically trying to hijack the BJP, importing former Congress leaders, his cronies. So even the BJP leadership, particularly the old guards, are not very happy with Himanta Biswa Sarma. And there were, after the Lok Sabha election results, where BJP didn't do that well. Of course, they got more number of seats. But if you see the actual vote share, the vote share of Congress was more than the BJP's. So, we were also hearing from within the BJP that Himanta Biswa Sarma might be replaced by Sarbananda Sonowal. And every time when his chips are down, he starts playing this kind of communal narratives for his own survival. And he is now doing that because he is on his last leg.
So I'll take the concluding comments, very brief comments coming from Netra and Professor Biswas. Yes, Professor Biswas, first to you, and then I'll wind up the program with Netra's comments. Yes, Professor Biswas, what would you say to these?
I would concur with what Shamir Babu had just said, that every time his chips are down, he likes to play the communal card. But here he has played a card between Lower Assam and Upper Assam. So there is a reverse polarization in the entire Lower and Western Assam against Himanta Biswa Sarma, which will impact no less than 64 assembly seats. And there he is going to lose because of this statement. And on the other side, Upper Assam has gone with Gaurav Gagoi. So he is left with very little area, and he's aware that in the next assembly election, and what is supposed to be mooted to be midterm, if there is any, from the center, they are going to really face the brunt and the backlash because of this statement that Himanta Biswa Sarma has made.
Okay, Netra, to you, the concluding remarks. So by when can you hear about the FIR being lodged against Himanta Biswa Sarma and your demand that he should be disqualified under a petition where you have said that he's mentally unsound?
Why Himanta Biswa Sarma is doing all this? Because he wants to be in power. He is desperate. Otherwise, his next address will be jail, considering his credential law. All corruption cases. So he is desperate, and this is a desperate attempt for him to do the social engineering to repolarizations, so that there is any little bit of hope for him on 26. But I can tell you, Nilu, today itself, that this is going to be his biggest political blunder, and this is the political harakiri for him, and this is going to be equally damaging for BJP. At the same time, I would like to request all people to be very careful from all these propagandic politics and all these false news through WhatsApp or Facebook. Please maintain peace and harmony. Don't get carried away by this type of propaganda from BJP and Himanta Biswa Sarma. Thank you.
All right. So the biggest question, what I would want to conclude is, the biggest question is that why is BJP not trying to rein in leaders like Himanta Biswa Sarma, for that matter, even Yogi Adiyanath or Mohan Yadav? These are examples. It's just not one Himanta Biswa Sarma who's there within the BJP who's trying to become holier than thou as far as the communal card is concerned. But why is BJP not reining in these leaders? Does it want to continue to play on its communal pitch? It has already seen the results. What happened in 2024? The communal card did not play at all. And if these leaders continue to play this communal card, what will happen in the state elections is the million-dollar question. Thanks so much. I'll have to wind it up here. Professor Biswas, Samir Purkastha, Netra Ranjan Chaudhary, thank you so much for joining. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this discussion: subscribe to our channel, send us a feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal.